Hey, it's Jason with jams.net, cars, DIY, and adventures, and today we're going to do a little bit of DIY on this 2012 Fiat 500C. It's like driving a little go-kart on the highway, and I'm going to be frank with you, people seem to want to bully you around. So I'm going to go ahead and get a camera installed, and it's going to be a 5K camera. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this in like 20 minutes, so I have a dash cam on the Fiat. Let's take a peek at what I have. Now, we drive this Fiat not a whole lot, but when we do, we typically find ourselves on interstates. So I've noticed that in the little Fiat, people seem to want to kind of just push you around, and it might just be because of the size of the car. It might just be me overreacting. But in any event, I think it's kind of funny, and it's usually, and I have a big pickup truck, it's usually people in big pickup trucks. So this is the Lingdu dash cam. It's the model LD08. They say it's a 5K camera. So that's pretty intense, given I generally, like this video here, I'm shooting in 4K. So 5K is going to be pretty crazy. All of these cameras, just like most electronics nowadays, are manufactured in China. So there's going to be some similarities with other cameras that you might have. Let's go ahead and see what they have in this box. Quite a bit of stuff in here. A whole lot of stuff, actually. Okay, I'm just unboxing everything so I can make sure we can have everything we need. So that is the box. And let's go through what they provide us with. This is the usual user manual for the LD08, the Lingdu. Customer service information. Some warnings. What's in the box. The camera. So this has a rear camera as well. I did not realize that. That's going to be fun. The front camera, the charger, the power cables, cable clips. It gives you a little pry tool. Gives you quite a bit of everything you need, it seems. So this is going to be plugged into a cigarette lighter adapter. So this is probably going to take a little more than 20 minutes. I didn't realize it had a rear camera as well. I'm not sure how that's going to actually even work on the Fiat. But this is the camera. You can see it's going to tape up there. See, that's two cameras. I guess a forward-facing one and a cabin-facing camera. So you're going to get all kinds of views on this bad boy. So you're going to get a in-car camera, plus you're going to get a dash camera, and then it comes with the actual rear view camera as well. So you're going to have to run that if you choose to do that. Cigarette lighter adapter. Looks like some more tape here. This is the rear camera. Quite a bit of cable as well. Okay, so the Fiat camera is going to face. I'm going to do it just like this. But ideally, I think it's a little bit bigger than I thought for this car, because I got this Easy Pass in here, which is probably you know, you can't, if you put it right behind the mirror, that camera here is going to show the cabin. So I think that defeats that purpose. I don't want it down here because then you're going to have a whole bunch of wires. I want the wires to go up and follow this path. I don't want them to go down. I mean, I guess I could mount it lower, but that's not what, and I think that would look bad seeing the cameras. So I'm going to keep the easy path where it's at because you're not going to be able to see it. And I think what I'm going to do with the camera here, I'm going to put it right, I got to make sure I clear the mirror. I'm probably going to have to do it like this. And that allows the camera to do its thing, all right? And then, so that gives a good view for the camera. And then a cabin filter, or sorry, a cabin view. On these small cars, you just don't get a lot of space to work with. I'm just trying to figure out where I want it. I think it looks goofy right there. It's just a big old thing. I think my best option is going to be just like this. Okay, so it seems this electrostatic sticker is designed for ensuring if you remove the camera at some point, it's not going to create any film or something like that. So I'm going to use it. And it basically, I've already cleaned this windshield, so it's really good, but it said peel the backing off, and then it said to stick it where you want it to go with the camera. Let's get you up close so you can take a peek here. You can see how the film just kind of goes right on. So the next step is to stick the camera on. And it's going to go just like that. So you peel the tape off the back and then you stick it. Okay, so I have it mounted here. It said don't worry too much about, you know, the direction of it because all of it's adjustable. But you can kind of see how it's going to look. Let's take a peek and see how it looks outside. That's how it looks outside. So it doesn't look terrible. You can see more of the bubbles outside, but again, I bet you that heat is just gonna take that right out. So I've got a bit of the cable ran. It goes nice and clean behind the rear view mirror. I am going to, I think I'm going to put one of the, I'm going to zip tie this or something to the mirror, that cable, just in case this was to fall down. It's not going to pull everything. I have it just running right behind the window here. And then when you use the pry bar, you just basically put it back there and lightly bend it out and then shove the cable into areas to hide it and make it nice and snug. Okay, so I really had to work it to get it in this pillar. This is just really soft in these small cars and lower end cars. So you got to be kind of careful. You don't want to do anything too crazy in there. But you can see it tucked in nicely and I got it hidden. And now I can just follow this all the way down using that little pry tool to tuck it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it behind this corner, but it looks like there's enough gap where I probably can. Now this is just a precautionary step I'm taking. You can see that little zip tie right here. So in the event it was to fall. So this camera was hooked up fairly easy, and what a clean install. Let's take another look at it outside. Doesn't look too bad. So let's get this app going and see how all that works. Again, I'm not using the rear view camera. I keep saying rear view camera. The rear camera. because it's a convertible. But presumably that camera would have just ran into here. It would have plugged into the USB camera cable, and then it would have went all the way up and through. Let me clean things up in here a little bit, and then we will go through the app install. But so far, I like it. I think this is doing a good job, and it looks pretty cool. I was a little surprised with the electrostatic cling, but I get why they're saying do that. Okay, now it's time to configure the app. It says scan this code and download the Lingdu app. So I'm scanning the code. God, it has pretty poor ratings, 2.6 with 10,000 downloads. People complaining about the rear camera being inverted. Well, we got it installed, so let's give this a go. I'm going to get this installed. I'm doing this on an Android, a Google Pixel 8. Okay. Tips. We will get you GPS location in order to get the Wi-Fi name. I guess I need to have this car on, alright? So the camera powers up. Confirm. Allow it while using the app. You heard the camera just turn on. You're going to have to let it do photos and videos because of the, it's a camera. Please turn off the mobile data option on the phone. So you have to turn it off. I'm trying to see real-time video here on the camera. Okay, here it is, the Lingdu password. What the hell is the password? I don't know what the password is. Let's see. They didn't tell me I needed a password, did they? Let's look at the instructions. The password's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5. Hold on. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So again, I'm just trying to connect to the camera. It like broadcasts its own little Wi-Fi, you know. So I'm getting some sporadic behavior here, and I don't know if it's the draw may not be enough on that USB port in the glove box. They might not have enough power. My camera's not holding power. So like you can see it's connected right now. However, all these lights up here on the camera end up cutting off. So it seems to me that it's not maintaining power. Which means I might have to use the cigarette adapter, which is okay. It's not that far. So let me see if that's what I have to do here. Okay, so I've just temporarily ran it to the cigarette adapter, and my inclination was correct. That USB port in there isn't able to provide a constant stream of enough power, so I have no choice but to use a cigarette adapter. So I'm going to go ahead and run that cable. I don't need to run it up to the glove box. I can just run it underneath and then go over. So let me do that real quick, and then we'll get back to it. But you can see, you know, it's connected, and you can see that, you know, it's not powering down, and the rear camera is doing what it should be doing, and the front camera is doing what it should be doing. So let me get this power hooked up by running this cable. A little bit of a deviation, but that's good for anybody to know with a Fiat, because it's not going to give you enough draw. It charges a cell phone, but very slowly, I suppose. So instead of snaking into the glove box where I had it, I just have my cable going this way, and then it's underneath here, this plastic just lets you actually just kind of push it up, and you can hide the cable very easily. Okay, so let me show you what I have here. Cable coming from the cigarette light adapter. You can twist it, and I can make it a little bit tighter, which is nice, so I can kind of like turn it. Goes right here. This is where I enter into everything. I put all the excess cable in here, but it actually runs down below here. Instead of going up high, I had a hard time with that plastic clamp. It runs right underneath here, all the way up into the back. Just push this up in the back. It snakes over right here, and then it continues. Now, I'll tell you, this whole panel is like, you see how, I mean, it's a small Fiat, but this plastic is just, like Tupperware. So, be careful. I did have to undo 2 tabs in here to shove it in, but I think it looks pretty good. So let's go back to configuration of the camera now that I have the power issue sorted. So, I'm just saying that it's all connected. Then you can say real-time video. I got to make sure it's connected here to that. So it's connected to Lingdu, Wi-Fi connected. Next, check real-time video.
Wi-Fi is connected.
Okay. So everything
Wi-Fi is connected.
is connected. So that is good. You can see the perhaps you can see me waving in the camera, but you can also kind of see the actual camera itself. So then I can go back and I can say local video, and this is where it's gonna effectively have all the videos that it saved. I'm gonna click update and check for updates. There's no updates. So that's pretty much all you have in the app. There's not a lot to this. So a slight deviation with the way I was powering it, which is okay. It still looks good in my opinion. But I'm gonna go to do a drive, and we're gonna see how this thing actually functions during a drive. So I'm gonna go grab lunch and record this, and then I'll come back and we'll see how the actual video looks. But overall, pretty easy install. This is the most advanced and highest definition camera I have, the Lingdu, and it's a 5K. It's pretty darn slick how it has a camera that can go for the back of the vehicle, so if somebody was to hit you. But on a Fiat, that wouldn't really work. On my pickup truck, that really wouldn't work either. So, you may not be able to take advantage of that functionality. But I do want to say, so far, thank you, Lingdu, for sending this to me and allowing me to test it on this 2012 Fiat 500C. Easy peasy install, but just be patient. Every car is going to be a bit different. But the quality seems decent. The price wasn't terrible. And the install, we made it work. Be sure to subscribe to jams.net. It means a lot to me. Cars, DIY, and adventures. And I hope you enjoyed installing this dash cam on this 2012 Fiat 500.
Be sure to keep the ground in sight.